Good evening, I'm Adventure Argonaut. I'm back to Hyaku Monogatari, Honto ni Atta, Kowai, Hanashi, the Japanese horror game with 100 stories and 100 candles. Yeah, I was absent from this game for a couple of days. First was Tuesday, News Day, and Golden News, and yesterday was busy with other crap, unfortunately. But finally, I get back to my horror stories from Japan. Let's see how are my streams looking. Kick and Twitch look good, and Rumble as well, and even Party seems to be on. So party on, Goth. All right, let's play the game, quote unquote game. Technically a game, I guess. So what do we get with the first candle today? What do we get? Something ghost that passes the bridge or something, or ghost clouds appearing on the bridge. Okay. And it's from Kumamoto Prefecture, YH Sun. So ghastly clouds. Okay, there's something fucky with my Twitch chat. Let's see. All right, let's sort of put it here. Now I should, yeah, like my OBS Twitch chat, it's being a bit screwy now, but now I put like a browser window there, so that should be enough. If somebody says anything in Twitch, chances are nobody will say anything or it's a bot. So it's Obon season, so it's some traditional festival time. So I forget when it was, but I heard two rather strange stories. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I heard one of them from my mom, and the other was from the the other one was from like an ancestor or a shrine, like somebody who had come to offer prayers to their ancestors. I'm not quite sure who's the source of the second rumor, but anyways, let's see what kind of or story, what sort of stuff there is. So both are about an old bridge in the neighborhood, in my neighborhood. Ooh, cool visuals. So it was a summer 35 years ago. So right now it would be like 65 years ago because the game was made 30 years ago. Damn. So mom was, as she usually did, she was working in some factory, and the grandmother went to pick her up. So I guess it's the mom's mom, of course. Um, Even though it was in the neighborhood and not far from the town, and It was a 1 hour's walk along the mountain path. So she was walking by herself. Wait, so wasn't the grandma supposed to be getting like, are they walking to get the mom from work? And there's a small stream running along the way with an old bridge. Uh, so at that time, uh, a person who crosses the bridge, uh, so there were no electric lights for anybody who was crossing the bridge, I think. And because of that, because the mom, who was still a child at that time, she was always scared. I know, so maybe, okay, maybe it was the grandma. The grandma was working probably in the factory, and the mom was coming to pick her up. Maybe I messed that up. But anyway, so the mom, who was still a child, she was always scared, I guess, when crossing the bridge. However, on the park on that particular day, a noisy procession of about 15 people came from the other side of the bridge. Of course, it's gonna be ghosts or yokai or something like that. So the mom was next to the bridge, so she hid in a shrine or something. Because the mom thought the procession was made of drunk people. So on the dark street or road, nightly road, like you don't want to walk through a group of drunk people. I guess that makes sense. And so the mom tried to get through the situation, and she was, still, like, completely still hiding in the shrine. But there was something strange. So the procession that passed the mom, um, so there was no like no sign of it, like no visual sign of them, only the sound that echoed before they disappeared down the road. So the mom hurriedly ran out of the shrine and checked across the road. By that time already, there was nobody there. After that, the mom was crying and walked to the factory where the grandma was working. So crying on the way home, she was crying on the grandmother's back, and that's how she fell asleep, crying on her back or against her back. So I listened to that story, thinking, huh? Even now, the mom Like she doesn't seem to like the bridge. So the chief priest is sipping tea leisurely and like while listening to the story. So okay, is this the second story? I guess. Ah, so it's you too, you as well. Yes, it's me. Something happened on that bridge. And the head priest was drawn to the mother, and they started talking about the bridge. So the priest always rides a bicycle, and I think it's like a Shinto priest, not Christian or anything else. So, anyways, um, he rides a bicycle when he's moving around in the neighborhood. And whenever he tries to cross the bridge, his body becomes heavy. Like someone is riding on his back, and for a moment he loses balance. However, the priest wasn't afraid. That being said, like there's still there's like a an like not well understood bad feeling about the whole thing. I guess like mysterious bad feeling. So yeah, it feels uncomfortable, and the priest didn't like the bridge very much either. Uh, so the priest always walked around um, when he like crossed the bridge. Apparently, he chants a sutra when crossing it. Yeah. So he recites a sutra while crossing the bridge. And one day, the head uh, priest um, found a small shrine on the side of the bridge. Or I guess noticed it. Um, so he know that there are like pins and teeth. Is that right? Pin, no, no, no. Like something came to his mind. I guess he realized, he noticed. Yeah, so there are like sutras and memorial service like offered there or something. I guess it's like there, like in the shrine, there's some sutras and other religious stuff written there or hanging there. And sometimes when he comes to the bridge, it feels like playing with his grandchildren. Is that correct? I guess playing like feels like playing with his children, like who are reciting sutras or something. So I'm not really interested in scary stories. I don't really have any, but I would like to talk about my mother and the priest. So when I hear the scariest, I'm not really scared when I hear about it. So somewhere in this town, there's a sense of strangeness. But also, I don't want to experience something like that myself. I guess the bridge stuff. And the bridge has been completely renovated and is much wider. Of course, it's a troll on the bridge, so there will be fewer accidents and there are no scary images. I guess is the bridge doesn't have a scary image anymore. Still, people offer flowers at the shrine. The shrine or the bridge? I guess the shrine at the bridge. All right, first one down. Let's see next story. Yeah, that story was sort of like okay, sort of interesting, but not really that interesting. And this is sent ring. So I guess a ring that was sent to somebody, Ibaraki Prefecture, and is anonymous. Oh, Sauron sent his ring, of course. So there are strange people in this world. I think there are a lot of strange people in this world, and there's also some strange people like that who that are around me as well. And this is a story about a friend, a story about his best friend, or him or her. So I would like to tell you a story titled "The Psychic Next Door." So my best friend Mickey is said to have strong psychic powers and can see things that normal people can't. So when we are together, or he or she, I think it sounds like a female, gets a little noisy saying things like "There's a uh, ghost here," or he can see it over there. Yeah, it's her, it's Kanojo, but only she can see it and nobody else. So for me, I'm just so I guess for me, if I only were able to see those ghosts, would be amazing. So she discovered her abilities in her first year of junior high school. So this is a story that happened 5 years ago. At that time, her friend had anorexia. Yeah, the best friend's friend had anorexia, and apparently it happened when I went to visit her, like visit her in the hospital, or well, I guess I don't know, was she hospitalized because anorexia? Anyways, Miki's friend Yoshiko has severe anorexia, and when she ate, everyone like she felt like she's gonna throw up. Yeah. So yeah, then so even if she went to the hospital, she didn't understand the reason or the cause rather of the anorexia, I guess. So the parents were very worried. Like, what should they do? So Yoshiko's house was very beautiful, a Western style building that seemed to have been built only recently. Only other than that time, like she didn't feel anything except for that time. I don't know. Right, let's see what's going on. So so Miki-san, who was let into Yoshiko's room, said she was startled. So in the middle of the room, uh, so even though the lights were on in the room, there was something. Why was it so dark? Like it was still extremely dark. At the same time, uh, they felt indescribably annoyed, and they noticed like an unusual humidity. It's just like sounds like they have mildew problem or something, mold. It seemed that Yoshiko was found sleeping in the room, looking gaunt and emaciated. Emaciated. So she lost weight. Yoshiko, and Miki decided to wait while sipping coffee and wait while Yoshiko was waking up. How long had it been? Suddenly, Miki felt sleepy and she fell asleep. And then she had the following dream. Even if it was just a dream, it's true. So maybe it wasn't a dream, or like don't know if it's a dream or not. Like it came true, so don't know if it was a dream or not. So in the dream, uh, like Migi-san couldn't distinguish between dreams and reality, and like it was it was said like there was a gap that cannot be reached or crossed or something. Anyway, she was standing in Yoshika's room, and there were lots of clothes scattered around the area, all of which had blood on them. And she picked up each one of them to help put them away. And there was a pink shirt, like something fell from the pink shirt, and when she had a good look, a ring in the darkness behind them, a very beautiful moonstone, a ring decorated with beautiful moonstone. And it looked very expensive, so she put it in the desk on the desk and went back to tidying the clothes. After a while, after picking up all the clothes, what am I talking about? She had a break, and frantically tried to think again whether it was the real world or a dream. So, is this Yoshika's room? So there was a voice was heard from outside the window. So she looked towards the window but saw nothing. So is there somebody down below? Guess there's some mumbling but don't really hear. So Miki-san followed the voice and one by one threw the clothes out of the window. I have to go check. I, okay, is my mic okay? Now my mic is on. The true monster had awoken. My son had to make some formula, but it's gonna take some time. So like to boil water and stuff, like baby formula, milk replacement, whatever. So yeah, she threw the clothes out of the window. Uh, so I guess she went crazy. Maybe they were cursed clothes. So she no longer she was holding nothing anymore. So she threw them all. Mickey was surprised by the change in the voice and didn't know what to do. And at that time, oh no, creepy hand. Mickey. Hey, now I actually hear Yoshiko. And there the dream ended. And so yeah, the Yoshiko woke up Mickey, who was moaning next to her. So it ended the dream because of that. So Mickey, who um, who just seen this dream before, it felt so realistic to her, and she apparently asked Yoshiko if she had any idea what had happened. And then Yoshiko told them a story about when the before the house was built, and apparently before it was built, there was a huge mansion or a large mansion there, which was very rare for the area. Then um, like I guess the Yoshiko's house was like maybe part of the mansion, like maybe part of the mansion had turned into Yoshiko's house. Yeah, yeah, sort of like that. So 2 or 3 years ago, it's just a story. Miki, what now? What's wrong? So as Miki listened to Yoshiko's story, she was overcome with a strange sensation. And suddenly the whole body became hot and she saw strange images in her head. Oh no, hands. If you When she closed her eyes, she could see it clearly. So a woman's like hand with red manicure or wet red nail polish. If Mickey could see it, but what did it show? Like, what was it? She couldn't quite understand. In the end, she felt bad that day and felt bad for Yoshiko, and Mickey went straight home. So then, soon afterwards, or after a while, apparently Yoshiko called to thank Miki, So during the conversation, the story of the dream came up, and an unexpected fact had come to light. So in the example, the mansion that was mentioned, a rich couple and an 18-year-old daughter apparently lived there, or had lived there. So they were living a really happy life. But then, however, one day the daughter suddenly disappeared, and apparently she had eloped. Okay, I'm gonna elope for 1 minute. I'll be right back. Right, I have returned. So a few days or several days later, a few days later, the parents' desperate search was in vain, and the girl had been killed, and the body was brought home. Ooh, knife. So the perpetrator pretended to be her lover for a year. On the third day after the elopement, he stabbed the daughter to death with a survival knife and then fled. So so the guy had like pretended to, to be her lover for a year, just to, or a year later, planning to stab her. That sounds a weird way of putting it. Sounds more likely that, he just got pissed at her for whatever reason and killed her. And the body was found in Yoshiko's house in a vacant lot in a neighboring town 40 kilometers away. What? Well, no. No, it's okay. It's not in Yoshiko's house. It's 40 kilometers away from Yoshiko's house. Okay, that makes more sense. And she was cruelly cut to pieces. Her right arm had been amputated. So that's why the hand appeared there. And there were remains at the play. Like there were no remains left. So it was believed that the crime scene had been somewhere else. Okay, I'll be right back again soon. Just have to do something. Right, I have returned once again to the scene of the crime. So the search. The trunk she had was found in the river near the house. Or the suitcase or trunk, whatever, found in the riverbank near her house, and that was determined to be the crime scene. I guess that's what the police investigation uncovered that, I guess. So 3 days before, uh, so the trunk was found in the storeroom at Yoshiko's house. Ah, okay, so I guess 3 days before the dream and stuff. All the belongings of the daughter apparently were still in the warehouse. And Yoshiko's parents were the original owners, or no, no, tried to return it to the original owners, I guess. Yeah, the parents tried to return it, but it was unknown where they had gone. So in the end, a memorial service was held at Yoshiko's house, and the remains were burned. It may not matter, but uh, as a result, Yoshiko's anorexia uh, was gradually recovering. Was it a curse? Um, and Miki heard the story and was surprised when she heard about it. And seems that from then on she began to see things that were previously invisible. She was touched by the sight or the shining or whatever. So it was a great story, even though it was like, I guess even the thing is, even if it was a lie, it was still a great story, and makes me shake. Or does it mean even if it's even though it's a lie, or even if it's a lie, whatever? So yeah, you should be. I also want to be more careful with men, so they don't pretend to be my lover for a year and then suddenly kill. Well, I think I'm okay. All right. Okay. So I guess the clothes were real. It wasn't a dream or anything when she threw away the clothes, and that helped with the curse and whatever possession. Right. I have to go check on the baby formula again. So black hair in abandoned house in Tokyo, and CK-san. It's Clark Kent, Superman. Okay, so what was it? Black hair in some sort of building or room or abandoned house. So what I'm gonna talk about is this is about a guy I dated before. See, this vast majority of these stories are told by women. I guess they are more interested in ghost stories than men, at least sharing them. So anyway, the ex-boyfriend, he had a strong sense of spirit and was known among our friends to be able to see ghosts when they were together. Yes, strong sense of spirit, like spiritual powers. So then one day he went away, and I thought I would die. Uh, and I didn't. And when I didn't, he and two of his motorcycle friends entered a building that was said to be haunted. And it was a mistake to do so. So it was a little far away from the city, halfway up the mountain, no longer like a abandoned a hospital no longer in use or abandoned hospital, whatever. So it is like among them, it was known as a particularly spooky place. And yeah, abandoned hospital sounds kind of spooky. So yeah, not many people frequented it because it was so spooky. And just three people going to such a place, I can't quite understand why. And then, but to them, it was just a game, like a yeah, fun game that they felt like playing. So they were when they got to the hospital, they were happy or something, and but it was pitch black inside, and they couldn't see anything. So the three of them came just for fun. So there was no way they could have had flashlights yet because this was. I'm gonna guess this was in the 80s or something. So yeah, people didn't have cell phones with flashlights. So after all, they had to do with 100 yen lighter, so basically a cheap lighter, and they went inside. Yeah, this sounds like some sort of horror game already. Inside the hospital. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go make a delivery. All right, it was a quick delivery. So it hadn't been used for years and looked like it was in a really bad shape, smelled of mold. So in front of them was about 20 meters and a wide corridor, and they could see several rooms that looked like hospital wards. And the door to the hospital room was locked, and they couldn't get inside. And so for now, they had one room each, and they went deeper to investigate. Then, what's this? But there was only one, like a door with the where the locks were open. So that was the only room they could enter on that floor. Ah, okay, okay. So he and his friends were curious and went inside. Creepy door sounds. So the hospital room had a brand new bed, and there were chairs for nursing care. Clearly, there was like a vampire living there or something. So there were chairs for caregivers and other items there, and looked as if the hospital was still in use, which is something you would never imagine given the hospital's exterior. So they thought it was strange, but they continued to the back of the room without any hesitation. Then a white cloth. There was a white cloth placed on the window. An old dressing table came into with a box came into view. Well, yeah, there's the box and the table. So he was curious and looked at the white box, picked it up and shook it. Oh no, it's Pandora's box. Don't touch it, don't open it. So it looked like there was something inside, and it was a little heavy and smooth sound, whatever that means. So when he opened it, there was a bundle of black thread. So that's the black hair, as in the name of the story. So if you look closely, you can see that it was still tied, and it looked like it was cut from a root, and it was woman's hair. Ugh. Oh no, what was that? It's not working. It doesn't work. So the lighter, of course. Um, hey, I'm not kidding. Door. Sounds like Dagon. You idiot! Don't run away. After that, no, yeah, after that, show me the lighter, and he got it, but so the li- the lighter that they just bought, it was gone. Either the lighter had disappeared, or it means like the juice was gone, like it melted. Ah, okay. So I guess it was too hot for it, too hot to handle. So the three of them somehow managed to find the exit. After that, there was a total panic. In the end, they disbanded for the day. So he arrived home. It was around 4:30 in the morning, and they opened the front door and entered the living room. The sister was watching a video. So she was also, the sister was also spiritually sensitive like he was. As soon as the sister saw him, uh, with a relieved look, she looked down. Uh, Collection of soccer goals. I wanted to see it too. I guess it's the video on the TV. So yeah, I wanted to see it too, sister. Please lend it to me or something. But the sister couldn't hear the voice of the brother. She just looked down and trembled. So he turned his attention away from the TV and noticed the sister's condition. What's wrong? You're so quiet. You you have why is your hair so long? What? Indeed, his hair had gotten long. Interesting. Um, but it's not something that the sister finds particularly surprising. So he too was surprised. Like I guess normally the sister wasn't like wouldn't be surprised over something like that. So the hair is down to his waist. Uh, you what have you been doing? What? So you brought somebody with you. I guess talking about the long-haired woman ghosting. A woman with long hair. So I'm keeping quiet now, but be careful. Yes, yes. After that, he waited for the spirits to disappear so as not to provoke them. So within 3 hours, the spirit had left the room and like returned to the hospital, I guess. A few days later, the story of the adventure became hot topic among their friends, and he ended up going back to the hospital. Crazy. And this time they had a large group of about 20 people, and they brought flashlights. So when they arrived at their hospital, um, so they split into three teams. No, like teams of three rather, and one by one went inside. Yeah, this sounds like some sort of XCOM kind of game, but this is ghost calm, not aliens but ghosts. So anyway, they went inside. It was total test of courage, and it's very amazing and blah blah blah. So the 20 people, their behavior varied, I guess. Some continued to move forward, and somebody would sing loudly. Somebody would take photos here and there, and so he ignored his sister's warning and went inside, thinking that it would be fine since the atmosphere was very bright. Then, for a while, nothing happened. And then nothing happened. It's a good horror movie. Like, there's some creepy stuff going on and foreshadowing, and then nothing happens. And then it's whole movie will be like that. Anyways. So with the 20 people, does the spirit have courage to appear? So everything went smoothly and they were able to move forward. So I want, like, so can you help with the feeling? One member of the group said something and took out, perhaps due to the mood, one of the people in the group took out a camera from his pocket, took a photo of the two of them, including him. So I guess the boyfriend and somebody else. Uh, Surely, I wish I could take a ghost photo. So I thought that. Uh, so yeah, I guess yeah, they just wanted like ghost photos. Who's that? They were surprised. So it was dudes from another group. They got carried away easily. So let's just ride it. Ha ha ha. So they think they're breaking windows or whatever, but it's actually the ghost breaking them or something. On the other hand, the group that was ahead was like a medicine room, pharmacy room. Is that what you call it? So they advanced ahead, heard the faint sound of glass breaking in the medicine room or chemical room, pharmacy room, whatever. Oi, there's some sort of glass. Is that a cracking sound? Oh, those guys on the first floor. Well, I guess there's nothing we can do about it. They're just being naughty. Oh, is that somebody fell? Naughty boy. Ah, no, it's those medicine bottles or chemicals. So bottles containing medicines were scattered around, and they fell off the shelf and were scattered around. And they were flying in the air in pieces. So that group could no longer bear the sight and hurried down the stairs. Uh, so on the first floor, the boyfriend's group, I guess, noticed and they ran away. Is that a beard? Like a mouth? It's a big, like a big head with a long beard. So a group on the second floor and a group on the first floor, they met up shortly thereafter. And the strange phenomena they had both seen. So I guess without being able to brag about it, they ran outside or something. So he remained alone at the entrance to make sure no one else was inside the hospital. I guess he's the boyfriend, probably. Of course, finally went outside and there was nobody waiting for him. So his friend had already left the scene and got on the motorcycle, leaving him behind. And he was shaking with fear and he left the hospital shaking with fear. Wait, that's a scooter, it's not a motorcycle. That's not so cool. Oh yeah, at the time the bike he was riding was a 50cc scooter. So of course it doesn't go very fast. So alone, going down the mountain path with the hospital behind him, he was running at around, driving around 70 kilometers per hour. So at the first at the first corner, when he approached it, he found his friend's bike. So the friend had a 250cc bike, and it was too late. Yes, he had crashed. So he was no, he was worried and waiting for him. Okay, I thought he'd just the bike was there. He had crashed because he was been panicking too much. So I was relieved and grateful the friend came back. And then the friend's bike ran about 5 kilometers. Mm. So until then, like slowly walking next to me, I guess who was driving next to him, the friend suddenly came to a sudden stop. I guess. No, no, no. Wait. So he had been riding slowly next to him. Suddenly started riding at high speed, and he just drove off or rode off. Do you say drive? Do you drive? You don't drive a motorcycle. You ride it. So 10 minutes later, they gathered at their usual meeting place, and they were worried about what had happened earlier and asked about the friend or from the friend. Uh, then the friend's rear seat suddenly became heavy. and felt like somebody was sitting in the back. Yeah. So in the back, checking the rear view mirror, there was a woman with long hair. And yeah, woman with long hair looking at him with a terrifying expression on her face. Ha 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 ha. He thought it was a lie and looked at the friend's sheet. Sheeto. I don't know what does it mean. What does sheet mean here? Then only no, it's seat. Okay, okay. Let's look at the seat, and then the rear seat. It was drenched. So a few days later, so he received a photo. He took that time, or they took that time, and he suddenly saw it. So there was a very angry Rabani. She must. I don't know. Well, it revealed some very angry thingy. It was also shown like only two of the photos were strange. So the first photo showed countless hands coming from the hospital wall and like coming out through the hospital wall. Ugh. The second photo had a line of white light. I was there around the friend's neck and shoulders. And now on his left ankle there was one of each in the photo. Okay, so does it mean that the friend is gonna lose his head because he has the cut? Next day, or no, is it or a later day? I guess just okay. That the friend had an accident, the injuries to his neck and shoulders. He was seriously injured and near death, and he also fell while like riding along a mountain path and severely injured his left ankle. Left uncle or left ankle? Since then, he said he tries to avoid such dares as much as possible. Yeah, I guess they were lucky if they didn't die. So, have you ever been to a suspicious place? It's better not to go. So, yeah, if you absolutely must go, please be careful. And don't forget the flashlight or the flashlight. All right. Feels like that the stories are really long today. Like, of course, there were some distractions on my part, but still feels they feel quite long. It's a special story, so it's those talky stories that where I'm completely clueless. Okay, let's listen to the Babble and rabble and bubble. Okay, I have to press button first. So what's this? Sukanda cow, some sort of face. I don't know. The face was like grabbed face or something. Somebody grabbed somebody's face. 驚いて、 Okay. Yeah, don't. I could understand words here and there, but like not really what the overall story was. But hey, at least we got another candle down. Soon only 20 left. So this is like classroom ghost Tokyo and something Yumi Wakui Yumi, and yeah, ghost in the classroom. So I can see things that other people can't see. Seems to be a theme today. It's no longer the sleep paralysis now, it's this sort of stuff. Um, I can feel things that other people don't feel, and such a time comes once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime. So the sensitive period called adolescence, like why is this experience so common? I guess maybe this weird experience common in your adolescence. So high school first year in the spring, Yumi's experiences. So the girls of impressionable age gather like at the high school, and it happened at the all girls school. Impressionable girls in the school. Okay. So her seat was in the very front on the corridor side, and there's a small window just below. And on the right side is the classroom door. And she had good friends around, like gathered around her. Okay. Yumi didn't even have a cold that day, but she had a terrible chill. She felt cold, I guess. What's going on? This is going strange, like really weird all of a sudden, like, I don't know, dark seed or something. So suddenly Kazumi, who was diagonally behind, sitting diagonally behind, started screaming and buried her face in the desk and refused to look up no matter who called out. In the end, Kazumi stayed until the end of class like that. So when the class ended, Kazumi regained her senses, and so I asked her what happened. And she was sitting diagonally in front of Maiko, a girl with transparent body squats. I don't know what they are. So she put her hands on the desk and stared at Maiko. And as she stared at Maiko, she saw it. So what? So Kazumi saw the girl at the edge of her field of vision, and and her friends decided to tell Maiko about the girl. So wait, was it like the strange girl who shouldn't be there? She saw like some ghost girl. So anyway, but the so yeah, they talked to Yumi, and the others decided to talk to Maiko and listen to the stories. And Maiko's eyes, they began to watch her. Right. Then the girls, um, she, when she heard the whole story, she burst into tears, started to cry. So listening to Michael's story in detail, her friend had died in a traffic accident. They say today is uh, I know she died on Tanabata. Like Tanabata is some, is it like is it the 7th of July or something? But anyway, it's the 7th day of something, and it's some, traditional festival holiday stuff. And this in the morning too, letter came from the friend and fell from the desk without being touched. So that was very curious. So I guess yeah, after the letter, I guess they've been thinking about the case, the dead friend or something. Oops. Is it just Tanabata or is it just 7th day? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just the 7th day is the day when the spirit can leave the body and visit who those it wishes to meet. Okay, so maybe it's like I'm still not sure if it's Tanabata because this is like I do remember it that the kanji for it is seven something, but it's 7th day or like 7th month. I don't remember clearly. So anyway, Yumi felt chills, and the girl Kazumi. Okay, so Kazumi had seen some girl there. Okay, yeah, Kazumi had seen a girl with a see-through body. So I guess it was the girl from Maiko's letter story. Okay, now I'm getting. So yeah, so Kazumi had seen the ghost, and she was creeped out, and Maiko had the letter of her dead friend or something. So that's the adolescence meant going through mentally unstable period around them. So there were lots of strange happenings. So is there still something more to the story? Nope. Okay. So are we supposed to interpret this to mean that okay they were just hormonally imbalanced teenagers and that's why they I don't know thought they one of them thought she saw a ghost. I don't know. Let's move on to another story. What's this? I think this is okay. Horror after school is Ibaraki Prefecture and PNA's nightmare. Creepy nightmares. School again. So school's dismissal time is around 6:30, and nobody's, I guess, behind like left behind in school after that. So our school doesn't need any students staying at that time either. But that was a few years ago. The I guess the swimming club student who had forgotten his or her item returned to school after 6:30 to retrieve the item. Okay, the water club, where is the swimming club? Uh, so yeah, he or she wished they'd done it the next day or the following day. So the student realized he or she had left something behind while walking down the main street in front of the station. and that was 6:32, I guess the time was. And he hurried to school, hurried back to school. However, the main entrance of the school was already tightly closed. So the students had no choice. No, the student had no choice but to go around and enter the school through the emergency exit. And unlike during today, inside the school building, it was pitch black and had a really eerie atmosphere, or somewhat eerie at least. And the student ran quickly down the hallway, headed to the classroom, and ran up two flights of stairs. And from the first floor to the second floor, I turned a corner down the long corridor on the third floor and stopped, and found himself in front of the same familiar hallway. So, as he approached the classroom, breathing heavily, noticed the light of a fluorescent light reflecting in the hallway. Uh, Seemed like somebody was in the classroom. Oh no. And the students entered the classroom, crash room. And there was, looking around the classroom, okay, it's girl, okay, it's revealed. I don't know if it was mentioned before, maybe I missed it, but okay, she. So she felt sad. Wait, is that right? No, no, no. So where does the my translation app find? So she saw seats. I guess went to the window seat. I guess the seat by the window inside the classroom. Okay, just to get the item. No, wait. So no, no, there was actually some girl in the classroom as well. Okay. So was the girl a senior or like a higher level student? She didn't. The student didn't recognize the girl and didn't say anything. So the girl. Oh yeah, wait. This was a girls' school, right? So yeah, is this story? Or am I confusing with another story? I don't know. I'm going crazy. Um, so I sat down in the back seat by the window and stared at the view outside. It was strange what she was doing at this time. Uh, so I guess he was more interested in the girl, the student, than in the lost item. No, no, actually it's the opposite. So more interested in the lost item than the girl. So he ignored the girl and headed to the desk. And then from behind, heard the sound of desk moving. So he was paying attention to the sound, and turned around and realized the girl was looking at them. Boom. So looking closely, uh, the girl had been amputated from the waist down, and only her upper body was floating above the chair. That's creepy. And there was blood dripping from her eyes. And then she thought it was not normal, and the student hurriedly ran out of the classroom without taking the belongings. So she sprinted down the hallway, and the students told themselves this is a dream, an illusion. But it was not a dream or an illusion. Because the girl behind was chasing. So gradually the distance between the student and the girl closed, and it would still take time for her to catch up, but it was only a matter of time. So desperately running through the corridor, uh, she skipped 5 or 6 steps and jumped down the stairs and continued to run. Then 200 meters, about 200 meters, uh, as the student was running, they looked behind. Donk. And finally, the student was caught by the girl with only the upper body. And then, if her hair had been 5 centimeters shorter, they would have escaped. So were caught by the hair. So yeah, the girl kept pulling the hair of the student. The student grabbed a nearby handrail and grabbed on and held for dear life. And she didn't call for help, or couldn't call for help. And even if they wanted to shout out, hair was being pulled and chin was raised, so like no voice was coming out. So it felt like they would stop breathing. Help! And as the consciousness began to fade away, the student mustered their last bit of strength and cried in a faint voice. Perhaps with death in mind. Oi, oi. What's wrong? Get your act together. And so the student was woken up by the security guard's loud voice. So, yeah, the student had fainted. The security guard was on the patrol and noticed some strange footsteps. And he'd been following the student for a long while. What on earth are you doing at this time of night? I went to get something I'd forgotten, and there was a girl with no legs. Girl with no legs? You're the only one. No, no, can't be. Sure enough, there was a security guard and the student only, nobody else there. In the end, the student was approached by the security guard and saved by him. However, the security guard uh, was completely aware of well, the creepy stuff, I guess. So, what on earth was the girl? What could have been? So, according to the student's story, there was a strong possibility, but didn't know for sure that I was a ghost. That yeah, most likely a ghost, obviously. However, it was already past school time, so I guess it was like if you went to school, after opening hours, the likelihood that the girl would appear was high, I guess. So there were still many victims. All right, floating girl. Save and start another candle. What's this? So afternoon visitor from Nara Prefecture, Nakao Yuka. I do believe this is another female, like pretty much all of them. Um, so I live in. I'm a second year student in a second year junior high school student, currently living in Yamato Koriyama City in Nara Prefecture. Yamato, was it Yamato Koriyama? Okay, the city. So my experience is a scary thing that happened to me about 3 years ago. Looking back, it might have been better uh, to see ghosts or hear the rapping sounds. Uh, but anyways, listen to my story. So strange stories happen in everyday life. So school that day was the opening day. There were no classes, and the day ended at lunchtime. Best kind of school day if you actually have to go to school. And at this time of year, the park next to the school, the autumn festival was held at the park next to the school. So me and friend Kazue-chan, decided to go there. So Kazue-chan went to see a TV program at lunchtime. Then 1:35 at grandpa's house. Yes, bye bye. So my parents both worked, so I was always at my grandfather's house during the day. So after eating lunch, Kazue-chan said she wanted to see the TV program. Yes, Kazue-chan's door slammed at the entrance. Still, the program hadn't finished, but Kazue-chan had arrived. I thought that's strange, and I emerged from the hallway leading to the entrance. So creepy. So the entrance, like Kazue-chan was definitely there. So unusually, the hair was down, was a rare sight, and was standing in the entrance. The Hudson. What is Hudson? I have no idea what. I guess standing alone at the end. I don't know. There's a weird word. I have no idea what it is, and my dictionary isn't that useful either. So it's early. Are you going already? Yes. So I was a bit worried, but I thought maybe I was just dressing up for a festival, so I didn't pay much attention to it. Well then, Grandma, I'm gonna go. Bye bye. Yes, yes. Be careful. And I returned to the tea room, met the grandma, and I said something and left the room. Uh, what was it? Thanks for waiting or something. So Kazue-chan wasn't there. So I thought Kazue-chan was hiding somewhere and messing around. So Kazue-chan, you're just so. No matter how much I searched, I couldn't find trace of her. So I started to worry. I tried calling her house from a nearby public phone. Moshi Moshi, this is Nakao. So is Kazuo there? Yeah, she's sleeping. So I was confused by the phone. So Kazuo-chan had stayed home the whole time. So Kazuo-chan's um, house wasn't far from the grandfather's house. What's going on now? Wait. I, why is the game suddenly doing this? Because I disabled one of the because it had happened before, and I disabled the back buttons, so I don't know what's going on. Anyways, I managed to stop it. Moreover, so she only showed the face to me. So yeah, she. So I guess the creepy version of Kazuo had just showed their face at their place and then went back to sleep. It's a weird story. Uh, Besides, she did call out in a loud voice. So the first person, the first version of Kazuya to come to their place, who could it be? It's from an alternative timeline or something. Um, so maybe it was Kazuya-chan's living spirit. I'm not quite sure what it is. Like living ghost. No, whatever it was. All right. Let's save and burn another candle, or rather, extinguish it. Another special story. So it's gonna be lots of talking, and I don't understand. Lots of talking. Futatsu no two corpses, I think. Yes, I got it.
私店やってるんですけどね、その店にあの坊さんとその妹さんが来るんですよ。まだ若い子ですよね。この人サーファーなんですよ。でね、しばらくにこのサーフィンやろうって言って仲間に連絡したら、いいよいいよって言って3人仲間できた。で、4人揃って車でもって出かけたんですよ。で、朝飯食ってないからどっか寄ろうよって街道沿いのレストランに行った。で、入ってって、時間がないからさ、みんなカレーでいいよなって、カレーねって言った。
Some guy who went to a restaurant or something. Maybe he said something about a car before, but yeah.
たら、はーいって女の子が言った。どうもいらっしゃいませって水置いてった。お、一人足りないよ。はーいってポンって水置いてった。お前と様でした。カレートントントンと水置いてって。また水の中手伝ってさ、カレーがない。俺さ、 カレーだけ行こうと思ったら、はーい。お前ってそんなにねえな、お前、水はこれしカレーはこれみんな笑ったんですよね。で、現地着いたけど、取ってあるその旅館が、まだ入れたことになかった。時間的に。じゃあ、それまでの間、みんなでもって一人しようじゃないかっつって、そのままそこで着替えちゃって、水に入っちゃった。一人しき遊んだ後、みんな上がってくると、その例のカレーの方がいないんで、おい、ちょっとしたいって言ったら、いや、いないよ。どうせどっかでまたナンパしてんじゃねえかって思ったから、いや、
Guy is so hypnotic, just sliding off the screen.
いやいや、いやいや、分かってんだから。で、またみんな一人ですよ。昼になっちゃったんで、どうするって言ったら、昼になったら戻ってまた、旅館から来るの面倒だから、子供って夕方までやっちゃってさ、で、旅館行って一人来いよ。それもそうだよな。で、みんなまだ海入った。もうすっかり気分も良くなっちゃったし、どうしようかな。あいつはまだいたって。しょうがねえな。どっかしけ込んでんじゃねえかって。いや、構わねえ。もう来るとこあったんだから。じゃあみんな行こうかって部屋引き上げちゃった。で、夕飯の支度してありましたから、いただきながらみんなでビールでも飲んでるうちに、すっかり疲れちゃって、みんなそのままパタッと倒れて、カカラカラ寝ちゃった。夜中らしいんですが、その声でもってから目が開いたんですよね。襖の向こうから、すいません。夜分すいません。はい。すいませんが、ちょっとよろしいでしょうかと。ええ、神です。はい。開けると神だったんで、何ですか？本当に夜分に申し訳ないですけど、実は玄関に警察の方がお見えになってるんですけど、ちょっとご用があるそうなんですが、よろしいですか？おいいですけど、眠い目こすりながら、玄関まで行くと男が立ってて、薄暗い中でもって手帳を見せて、こういうものなんですけど、すいませんが、夜分に申し訳ないですけど、突然ですけども、ご一緒に来た方でもって、まだ帰ってない方いらっしゃいませんか？いますけど、なんかあったのか。いや、事件ですか、事件ですか、なんか、あいつ奪われさせました。いや、そういうんじゃないんですが、これからちょっと、ご一緒にお付き合いしていただくわけにいかないですかね。はい。ちょっと待ってください、連れがいませんか？なんだろうと思いながらも、仲間さんがこうやって、起きろよ起きろよなんだよってやつを起こして、いや、まあ今警察が来てて、どうもあいつのことらしいんだけど、事件かなんかに巻き込まれたらしいから、おい、一緒に来てくれ。しょうがねえなって、3人で玄関まで行って、その車を乗せられて、走らせて、一体何やったんですか？野村さん、何なんです聞いたら、いや、誠に申し訳ないんですが、実は昼に死体があったんだけれども、どこの人間かわからないんで探してます。それで、こちらに来ているサーフィンみんなでやってる方を一軒一軒回ったり出たらこんな時間になっちゃったんだけども、早く身元を知りたいし、解決したいんで、申し訳ないけど、やぶなんて本当に申し訳ないけども、確かめてもらえないか。他のための冗談じゃないよ。女の子起こされて、死体なんかならないみたいな冗談じゃないよ。もしもこれが他の人間だったら、何なのか分からへん。おかしかったら、ただ本当に、こっちのけどもってバカにこんなにやっちゃって、言った。車が止まったら、病院ではないんだけども、そういう建物があって、通されてるんですよ。長い廊下行くとドアがあって、それをその警察の人がずっと開けながら、じゃあすいませんがお願いします。
Is that cat?
そこについて小さな電気がついてたんですね。はいって3人で覗いてみると、奥にベッドが1個あった。でもベッドには何にもない。って言ったら、警察の人が、はい、指さす。ベッドの上じゃなくて、部屋の隅の方に、シートがかかったものが、こういうことは、あれですか？ちょっと友達から、俺みたいに、 俺見てみないから、いや、お前見てみ、お前坊さんだから、よせよ、一応坊さんですから、しょうがない、入ってきて、しゃがんで、
I guess
お
that's a
平さんに
body.
頼むって目するんで、じゃあ、見ていいですか、じゃあお願いします。彼が、ふーっとこう目を振って、その瞬間に分かった。ってのは、髪の毛見た瞬間に、やっぱり友達と分かるわけですよね。嘘だろうと思いながら、ひょっと見ると、ああ、おい、ああ、どうしよう、伝えとこれよ。そうですよ、死んでるんですか、死んでる。そうですか、どうしよう。すみません、じゃあ、この時はもう一度教えてもらえますか。連絡警察取りますから。いえ、じゃあ、すぐ、じゃあ、連絡なしの、家族入れるから。じゃあ、お前入れるから。こっち、これ、電話入れるから。両方になっちゃったな。一人で行った。警察の方、警察の方だって。はい、わかりました、身元の方ですけど。ちゃんと、ご友人の方が確認されましたって言ってる。なんでこんなことになっちゃったんだろうなと思って、その坊さんじっと見てた。それで、シートかぶせて。それで手を合わせたら、もう一人の友達が来て、おい、こんな時だけどおかしいと思わねえか。何がなんだ。いや、それ気になってんだよ。何がいいんだ。お前このシート長くねえかって言われてみると確かにシートも長い。一人一人の長さってのは大体限られてますからね。長いよな。それね、お前さん。はい。これシートずいぶん長いですよね。これ、見ていいですか。で、彼がもう一回、スーッとめくって、友達の顔があるウェットスーツを着てる、シューッと見て、胸から腰あたりまで。太もものあたり来た時に、ふっとこの肺にもやもやしたのが見えた。なんだこれ。ってみんな驚いた。
What's that?
友達の頭のところに、ペタッとついてるのは、灰色の髪の毛で、両足をばあさんがガーッと抱きついて、うっとしてる。死体が2つあった。お前さんは何ですか。いや、実はこのばあさんっていうのは、4日前に海をして行方不明になったでしょ。じゃあ、その死んだばあさんが、こういう手にしてたんですか。その坊さんが、ちょっとその警察に、いや、だからそんなわかんないで、我々今苦労してるんです。新聞には今朝、サーファーの人と、そのばあさんが別に載りましたけどね、友達がしっかりとばあさんが抱きついてるんですよね。
All right. There was some dead grandma at the end or something. Maybe she drowned. But hey, it was one of those incomprehensible ones. Let's see what we get in this candle. Children's House. I think that's the title. And then Chiba, yeah, Children's Home, Chiba Prefecture, Imai Ritsuko. It's the name. Mm, so it's July 1975. Showa, I think that's the reading for the era. Whatever. Our family is in a new home in a certain city in Chiba Prefecture. Like they moved to the new home. The house is larger than the previous one, and even has a garden. And and at that time, the father looked very proud. Uh, like I guess couldn't fathom beforehand his pride, how proud he looked or something. Anyways, I was only 10 years old at the time, and I was happy to have my own room. So even though it was a new home, it wasn't a new construction. It was a bargain used property. Okay, I can see where this is heading. So my father was just an ordinary salaryman. Uh, so it seems he was pushing himself quite hard, I guess, to make ends meet and all that. Hey, Ritsuko, where's your luggage? Carry it yourself. So my father told me that while holding a cardboard box, and went inside the house. So my room is on the second floor, so it'd be a bit of a pain to carry the luggage up the stairs. The stairs leads from the entrance. It is at the end of a dimly lit corridor. Yeah, that looks funny. So even though it was early summer, I walked slowly in. I walked slowly in the chilly corridor, and when I reached the bottom of the stairs and looked up, yes, there was some creepy kid. I don't know if it's creepy, weird. I looked up the stairs and dropped the cardboard box I was holding. Ah, so okay, she was holding the cardboard box, not the dad, I guess. So there's a boy. I saw a boy about the age of 5 sitting on top of the stairs or at the top of the stairs. Uh, so just wasn't looking anywhere, just sitting there motionless. This was the boy was just sitting there. So the boy didn't even seem to notice I was downstairs. I was surprised to see a kid from the neighborhood coming, and so I hurried to call my father. That what's going on with the skipping stuff again. So I called my dad and something. So when my father came, there was no sign of the boy anymore, of course. So just to be sure, they checked the second floor as well, but he was nowhere to be found. So dad was laughing. So it's because of Ritsuka, or is I guess maybe it's you're imagining it. I guess it's just saying it's all in her head. After that, the child often appeared on the stairs, just like this. Then it all happened at the house. So this was the beginning of mysterious phenomena. Now that I think about it, my father he listened to me seriously, but it didn't make any sense. Like I guess what she was saying. And a week had passed since then. It was late that day. Why? What the fuck is going on? What's going on with this controller? Like, why is it skipping text? Like, please don't tell me that, like, Steam has updated the emulator I've used, and then the settings have been reset or something. It's really annoying because last stream it didn't do anything like this. Anyways, I can clearly hear the animals breathing approaching my room. So there was some animal, and I got scared and tried to get up. But the moment I did, I noticed something strange. Uh, what's this? My body doesn't move. Hey, we got sleep paralysis again. Like no matter how much I tried, like my body just wouldn't move. So just as I was struggling to move my arms and legs, so there was something on my body that was riding me. It was breathing like this, like a beast. I understood that it was like a beast. The beast appeared to have four legs, and it was balancing on my body. The weight was so heavy that I couldn't breathe and tried to ask for help, but I couldn't, get my voice to speak or whatever. No voice came, so I woke up in the morning and probably just passed out like that. And what happened next was that a month later, um, so about 2 hours after I got in bed, so suddenly the air around me froze, and I felt the freeze, and I searched. I opened my eyes and like to notice take a look at my surroundings, and then I sensed somebody at my feet, or realized somebody was at my feet. So I tried to wake up to I guess to figure it out something. Yada! Oh, sleep paralysis. Yes, the magic word is back. Ugh. Okay, that's creepy. So just like that, my body was completely unable to move, and my nerves were on the edge. I sensed somebody approaching me on my feet, and smoothed in small steps along the side of the body and walked slowly, and it then sat around my waist. The person sitting on felt unusually light and could tell it was a child around 2 or 3 years old. And the child fidgeted for a while. After that, but after about 5 minutes later, it disappeared naturally. And I became scared. I couldn't sleep that day. So the child that had been on top of me was probably 2 or 3 years old. So I told them about the previous night. My parents about on breakfast or during breakfast. I told them about what happened. Ritsuko, when I was a child, I had bad dreams. Like, I guess it's like, I had bad dreams too. It's not a big deal. How long are you going to stay half asleep? If we don't hurry, we'll be late. My mother said that my experience was a dream, and my father thought I was half asleep. Especially, uh, especially dad, like has a is Kechi Otsukeru. What does that mean? So I guess like when you criticize the house or something, his dad has like I guess doesn't like it presumably and reacts in a certain way. So in fact, since I came to this house, my life has changed completely. But my parents didn't understand that I've experienced this phenomenon on my own and had to bear it by myself. And that day I went to school but couldn't concentrate, and I spent the whole day thinking about the strange experience. At that time, the spirits still existed. Oh, no, I didn't understand the existence of spirits. I wondered if it was just my imagination. Yeah, it has to be. So on my way home from school, I forced myself to change my mood for the better. I'm home. Huh? To my surprise, the boy I saw on the stairs when I first moved in was sitting in the entrance hall. It's not my imagination, he's right there. So I quickly ran to my room, buried my face in my bed, and cried for a while. Uh, Ritsugo is dinner. So mom came up to the second floor. And I told my mother what happened until now. I want to leave the house as soon as possible. I wanted to move out. My mom got angry and left the room. I was left in the room again. The air around me felt strange, or I realized it felt strange. Noticed, rather. Where are you? I'm here. I actually heard most of what they said. I understood it. So what does it mean to me? Um, I didn't understand what the meaning was of that. But suddenly a strange image and voice appeared and echoed in my head. Uh, it was like it was looking for someone. I felt, I just felt that. Yeah, that's all I felt. Funny felt. Suddenly found myself in the middle of the room, falling down. This kind of thing happened again after that and continued frequently, but I had no one to talk to and just endured the pain day by day. Quite depressing. Then one night, at my desk in my room, I was studying at the desk. Suddenly felt somebody behind me, and when I turned around, like there was a girl about my age standing outside the window. Ooh. Her hair in a braid and was staring at me with blank eyes. The way I have already mentioned my room, it was on the second floor. Yeah, I was thinking it, like, yeah, it's kind of creepy. You see a girl levitating by a window. And of course, there was no place for people to stand. But that didn't really surprise me. Yeah, like part and parcel of living in a haunted house. So yeah, had gotten used to stuff like this. So I tried to call out to the child, "Who are you?" The child seemed surprised for a while and was looking at me with a little look. And eventually, she just disappeared into the darkness. And yeah, her eyes looked somewhat sad, and the white dress she was wearing, it was clearly showing how muddy it was. So the 5-year-old boy and the 2 to 3-year-old girl and 12-year-old girl. What's the math? What does it add up to, Mason? The four-legged beast. Yeah, it's like the family, like the kids and the dog died or something. The previous occupants. That's how it sounds like to me. So after that, they took turns to appear and disappear before me. And so yeah, to yeah, appear and disappear. They kept repeating during that. And some years had passed since then. I'm also 14 years old, and made new friends. At that time, I was with a girl named Masako. We were best friends, so we would go to each other's houses to play. And that day, on my way home from school at her house, is it Meko? Is that her name really? So I went to play. No, I was going. Okay, she was going to school from Meko's house. Was that really her name? Yeah, Masako. That sounds more reasonable because the translation app isn't sure, but Masako sounds more genuine. Anyway, there was an old lady, and went out to play, and she always had homemade sweets that would give to you. Ritsuko-san, uh, what neighborhood do you live in? I live in the residential area on the hill across the river. So when I answered that, their grandmother reminisced about the past around the house and told me a story from 20 years ago. I learned a surprising fact. So this was in summer of 1959. In the summer of 59, it was still in the mountains at that time. Around there, there were incidents of children going missing. Even all the adults in the neighborhood came together and hunted through the mountains for the kid. That sounds Dick Cheney-ish. But the child was not found, and it became I guess there were rumors about being spirited away, but the search was called off, and so the spirited away stuff happened to come here from Tokyo, and so there were like three siblings. So yeah, I guess three siblings came from Tokyo, and the grief of the parents was felt by the others to strongly enough to bring tears to your eyes. So it doesn't mean like their parents were dead already, kids. Wait a minute, Grandma. Now, wait a minute. Uh, you know the characteristics of the siblings? Okay, sure. So the grandma nodded deeply and spoke slowly. So the oldest sister is 13 years old, braided hair, wearing white dress. 5 years old. The younger brother was 5 years old, wearing a white shirt, shorts, and a bochon haircut. And then the youngest sister is 3 years old, so legs weak and can walk only a little bit. So the habit of sitting anywhere or everywhere. Those children. So despite my monologue, the old woman's story continued. Even after the search was over, the children's father wouldn't give up. So he would go sometimes to the mountains and to go hunt for wild dogs to kill there. So yeah, kill them often with the hunting rifle and the kitchen knife. Okay, I don't know. It sounds like a RPG protagonist here. Dad killing wolves for experience. And why did the children and the wild dogs come to me? Don't know why they showed up, but I'm sure we'll find ourselves. So want to give them like a long time. They'd be like wanting to find them for a long time, like a really long time. I guess we kept them waiting, or maybe they like want them to find out the truth about them or something. So I can't help but feel that way. So I made myself an altar in the corner of the garden and prayed for their souls. And did the sentiment come through to them? I wonder. After that, the children never showed up at the house again. Even now, when I think about their feelings, my heart aches. I guess it is a kind of a sad story. They didn't really say how they. Oh yeah, yeah, they were lost in the mountains. But okay, so it was all three of them. Okay, maybe one more. Ah, this is the psychic map. Psychic map stuff. This is some park. Inokashira, like Wellhead Park or something. Yeah, sure. Let's just go. Did it say Hachioji? Report. Did I save? Did I save? I think I saved. I'm pretty sure I saved. I'm gonna trust my memory. Maybe I shouldn't. The first thing I found in a trash can in Inokashira Park was a man's severed ankle. That starts off well. Afterwards, the arms, thighs, shoulders, internal organs, etc., cut into 1 to 5 centimeter pieces were put into the body or where. Okay, as many as 24 plastic bags were found in 7 trash bins. Sounds like fun. And the first victim was identified as Kei-san, a first-class architect who lives nearby. Why did Kei-san, who is a serious and gentle person, become victim of such a bizarre crime? So the case is still unsolved as of March 1995. Oh yeah, it's Heisei, 7th year. So Inokashira Park is a popular spot for families during the day and a popular date spot at night. So it's a popular park. So dismemberment murder is in a peaceful place is a terrible thing, and most unlikely occurrence. And the victim case on. Oh man. So the victim case and also played with children in the park. So considering that It's a very sad incident. Or does it mean he was playing with the children in the park because he wanted to, do naughty stuff to them and somebody noticed and took care of the problem? Maybe that's an optimistic way of thinking about it. So Mr. Keisan's anger and resentment towards the perpetrator of the sudden violent attack um, should be still swirling around the park. So access damage. Um, on foot, about 3 minutes from JR Kichoji station. The points: fear 2, atmosphere 4, sightings 2, curse 2, overall 3 total. Is it really 3 or 2? Recently, a witness to the incident had appeared. I pray for a speedy resolution to the incident. Save state, save. Maybe I'll do one more. One more story. I just hope it won't be like some really long one. Oh, it's the 7 school mysteries. Okay, these aren't usually that long. We had one classroom stuff already, so let's do the corridor. Corridor. Well, we had also corridor stuff, like school corridor stuff, yeah. But anyways, you may have had the experience of having to go to school after school to retrieve something you forgot. Yeah, sounds very familiar. Well, that was more like the. Well, I guess it was both classroom and corridor. Did you notice something unusual about the deserted hallway? Most of the strange happenings in the hallways happen in the evening and at night. There are strange noises, like, and we hear stories of strange noises and seeing shadows or human shadows. However, its true identity is not really known. I guess they've been dismissed as mere fiction. Uh, so I would like to unravel some of these mysteries if I could. Oh yeah, who's that? It was already past time when not only the students but also the teacher on duty had fallen asleep. Maybe you'll find out what's roaming the hallways late at night. Um, so let's try following these footsteps for now. So what should we do? So go to the right or left or turn back. I don't know. Let's. How can I? Okay, I had to change some button mode. Okay. Let's go left because I don't want to take the first option. There's nobody here. Uh, do you enter this room? So this room has not been used since a fire 3 years ago killed 4 students. Okay, sounds like fun. Over is locked, you can't get in. So how on earth, like, did you get in? This is strange. Surely, I was being chased by the footsteps. I can't believe the footsteps aren't coming from this room, but from behind me. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe I should go back. So I don't know who is going where or why. It's better not to solve the mystery. Anyways, let's get out of here. And as far away as we can. Oh no. Okay, that was sort of funny. Like very cheesy, but funny. Creepily funny. Like, I did, the hairs on my back did stand out. It's Castlevania, but at school. Schoolovania. Alright, let's save and I'm tempted to do one more candle, but no, I guess I will end the stream here. I'm Adventure Argonaut. Thank you for watching, and I guess tomorrow I will try to finish this. Like, of course, it depends how long the stories are and stuff. Like, if they put lots of really long stories at the end, then it's gonna take much longer. But I still intend to finish this tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.